If you're a long-term thinker or a long-term holder of Cardano, you might agree when I say that Cardano cannot be contained. It just can't be contained, and it's probably not going to be contained. ADA price on the short-term charts even looking nice. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Please hit the like on your way in, and let's just jump into the Cardano video. This is ADA on the 6-hour chart. It is exciting. It is looking potentially nice for this breakout. Like it's not there yet at that upper trend line, but we're going to dig into that. We're going to look at that. I'm also going to dig into the weekly chart, some very important historical data going all the way back here into the last bear market low. I want to break down just a macro view from just a strictly technical analysis perspective and why ADA charts are just looking good on the long term, right? And then before I do though, I really want to talk about this. This is Cardano, and I really think it can't be contained. I could be wrong. It's just my opinion, everybody, that this blockchain that is so ignored across social media is set up to overperform in future cycles. It doesn't even have to be this next cycle, in just future cycles. The foundation and groundwork that's been getting laid. And what's brilliant about it is people are ignoring it. It gets called often a ghost chain. What's even happening on Cardano? Some people ask. A lot of people ask, actually. It's driven by false narratives across crypto news outlets. It happens a lot, right? And that, from a value investor perspective, is extremely powerful. What makes it powerful is because what they're saying and what a lot of people think about Cardano is very wrong and inaccurate in terms of what actually is taking place. For instance, its staking mechanism here for years. Many people don't even realize that alone. Many people don't even realize Cardano being right now in a scalability era of the protocol and going to actually absolutely explode in terms of growth. So real quick, before we dig into those charts though, let's talk about that. This is CoinMarketCap breaking down market cap by cryptos. There's Bitcoin 443. Here's Ethereum 208. And Ethereum is an incredibly important piece of data when we're tracking a technology like Cardano. And it competes in different ways. And I don't even know if compete is the right word. It's just that, you know, Cardano does things that Ethereum's designed to do as well. I just, in my view, Cardano is doing it better. Obviously, it doesn't have that advantage of the first market mover, but that doesn't mean it's not better in terms of what it does and what it's designed to do and what it's going to be doing in the future. So here's the thing. Ethereum sitting at 208 billion. Cardano at 17 billion. That's around 8 times behind Ethereum. If you want to just put it very simply, it's like 8x behind Ethereum. That's a very big gap. And I talk about this a lot. That gap alone is a big deal to me because, and I never say anything negative about Ethereum, but that data point, which is Ethereum and what it's doing, and that market share gap is a huge opportunity for Cardano just to eat into it and Cardano to grow and to capture market share. And I think that's going to happen. I really do. And we can even start seeing, and not just for one singular reason, but for multiple reasons that might happen at different points and different times. And in this video, I want to break down just one point that might draw people's attention to Cardano, even away from Ethereum. And so this is what we're looking at. Real quick, this is basically an article talking about what's going on over at Ethereum. Vitalik calls out people for ETH hard fork. There's a hard fork off of Ethereum because Ethereum moving to proof of stake. A lot of people not liking that. There's potentially some division happening. We've already covered in a different video about Vitalik saying, hey, if you don't like it, go to ETH Classic, right? So he said that these people are simply trying to make a quick buck, and that's the people doing the fork into ETH. And Justin Sun recently announced support for a hard fork of Ethereum post-merge by listing 2 new tokens on his Poloniex exchange. The tokens were named ETH-S, ETH-W, related to proof of stake and proof of work. And ETH-W represents a newly created hard fork of Ethereum where GPU miners continue to mine Ethereum after the merge of the Beacon chain. So the merge obviously coming up right now, and there's this split in terms of the Ethereum community. And I don't know if it's going to get larger or not. And no matter what happens with the merge, it could go smoothly, it could get delayed, it could cause division, and it could go smoothly and cause division, and there could just be a lot. No matter what happens, my point here is this: there will be attention drawn to Cardano because of everything going on with Ethereum. Many people might simply think, hey, listen, Ethereum's getting proof of stake now, so yeah, I know Cardano has it, but it doesn't even matter anymore because Ethereum's getting it. That's not true at all. That is not true at all, because just because Ethereum is finally getting proof of stake does not mean Cardano will be, pushed aside, right? Because guess what? When Cardano came on with proof of stake, what did that do to other protocols? Nothing, right? It didn't do anything. So it's not the fundamental shift of proof of work to proof of stake is not going to, I think, draw Cardano stakers to Ethereum or anything like that. But it's the narrative and the division that potentially is happening within Ethereum that I think people are going to start turning to Cardano and noticing, wow, Cardano's had staking since July of 2020. And it's working. And I'm talking about it's working, everybody. Total staked, look at this. 72% of ADA is staked on the protocol. It's $12 billion. 2,965 active pools. Talk about decentralized. Total staked addresses, over 1.2 million staked addresses on this protocol. And it's been working. So it's like, yeah, Ethereum is getting proof of stake, but Cardano's already had it. And it's building other things now. And it's working on other things as it becomes more decentralized. Namely, right now, Vassal hard fork coming up with the scalability era that we're in. So let's pivot now. I just wanted to bring that up because as the merge gets closer and we're going to be hearing a lot about Ethereum, I think I really want to track how Cardano plays into the story, because it will. It will play into the story. I know it will. I don't know exactly how, but I just know it will because Cardano already has a proof of stake. And I know there's other proof of stake, but Cardano is a top 5 crypto, putting aside stablecoins, that has proof of stake. It is the world's largest proof of stake blockchain. And that's a big deal when ETH is moving to proof of stake. So here's the zoomed out charts. Let's start digging into these charts a little bit. Here is the 2018 bear market low. The reason I wanted to bring this up was because I was on this just the current charts. I was trying to get a gauge of where we are. I was looking at this stock RSI, which we've discussed, right? This quicker moving momentum oscillator shifting to the upside, still really not in overbought area, but cruising up towards that area. And the thing that caught my attention is just this RSI. It's steadily still towards the oversold area, right? There's not been this massive shift to the upside. And the reason that is extremely interesting to me is because if we go back on this chart, right, and we go back to that last bear market, all the way back here, 2018, the stock RSI, and I shouldn't say the bear market low, but what I want to compare here is this area, which was kind of like when Cardano exited the bear market, right? And this is what it looks like. The stock RSI, let's open this up, right here. This was March 2019. You can see this blue line right here in that just at that overbought territory. Now, right here is where we are. It's a very similar area in terms of this quicker moving momentum oscillator. And then if we open up the charts, and we can call this the week of February 18th in 2019, you can see where Cardano was at that time. So February 18th, 2019, just below the 20-week moving average and getting ready for the breakout. It hadn't broken out yet. On top of that piece of data, we have the RSI. RSI at that time also sitting right around, let's see, where were we? February 2019, right around here. So here's where the RSI was at that time, right before the breakout. Boom. Check out where the RSI is here. It's even lower, sitting around 36. And this just shows you, even in a rally environment, the rally has not happened yet. Because here's what the explosive move out of February into March looked like back then. You can see the RSI finally making that rally move to the upside before, obviously, a lot of consolidation and then even just, COVID Where was COVID on the chart? COVID was all the way back here. So there was still a lot of the story to be told, but here's what that breakout rally looked like. Now, this is what's key about this. That breakout rally that Cardano had when it was in similar momentum oscillator state, meaning on the RSI, very similar area, RSI, the stock RSI, very similar area, and then the RSI, slower moving momentum oscillator, even lower. This was a gain, this rally back here after breaking the 200-week moving average. This was a gain of around 150%. That's a 150% rally before just obviously consolidation and then boom, cruising to the downside in 2019 into 2020. But here we are now. We have Cardano on those oscillators at a similar state. We had the MACD cross that we have already looked at. I can just show you again if you hadn't seen. We have the MACD cross that happened just weeks ago. And this is where we're at. We have this breakout potential for ADA. And notice in that 2019 move, it moved to around the 50-week moving average, right? So if it did something similar, that would be a move if it hit it today of around 130%. Now, I don't think it would hit it today. It would take even longer than a week probably to make that rally move, right? It'll be a multi-week move. This 50-week moving average line in blue would be getting pulled down to Cardano, but a 90 to 100% gain for Cardano, testing $1 once again in a rally is in play. And I'm not saying that to throw hopium out there, but we're in this depressed market where we've just been, in ADA particularly, just getting a lot of negative press in terms of this downside that it's been in. It's been lower lows, lower highs. It's been months and months and months of a bear market and just even sideways trading. And this is an environment where we see these pumps in crypto. And it doesn't mean it needs to last, right? And we're entering the bull market. And I want to be very clear on that. Even if Cardano gets this rally, crypto markets get a rally, and it's kind of maybe off the back of traditional markets and maybe some good short-term, mid-term news that are moving markets bullish. If Cardano gets that rally, I want to be clear, be very careful for what happens after the rally. Coming back down to these levels, so in play. So roller coaster ride in play, and we're going to dig into that 6-hour chart in a minute, but real quick, I just want to give you an idea of the volatility that might be in store. And this is a really important timestamp. Hopefully I can remember to timestamp this exact moment of the video, because if I go and we look at the price range of this move, right? Once again, and actually we can take it all the way to here, 80% or so. That's a really big move, but it came back down. So we take our bars pattern from that breakout, not only to the swing high, but all the way, not to COVID swing low, but to the swing low in December 2019. Let's chart that and let's put it here to show what kind of volatility might be in store for Cardano now. Now, this is obviously, we're not saying this is exactly how it would play out, but this is what's in play. This is what crypto markets do. The volatility of it, the speed of it could be more dramatic. It could be less. We could hit a new low. We could go to $1.25 before coming all the way back down to 30 to 40 cent range. Be prepared for that, right? Especially going into Vassal hard fork. Once again, maybe we do get some type of pump for Cardano up into that 80 cent to $1 range. Now let's talk about what could trigger that. So Vassal hard fork, a big reason why in the weeks to come, ADA could pump. But what really could trigger it is what we've been tracking on the shorter term charts, which is the 50-day moving average. We have the 20-day crossing above it, and we so far have almost 5 days of support above the 20-day. This is extremely telling in terms of what we've been tracking for months and months and months, which is namely for that to happen. Not only for Cardano to cross back above the 20-day, above the 50, but to start seeing support at these moving averages. Hasn't even really tested the 50-day. That's in play for a test around 47, 48 cents, but we've been seeing support at the 20-day. That's a big deal. Now, as we zoom in on these charts, now we start saying, okay, we have a short-term breakout area, which ADA even right now is approaching 53 cent, just over 53 cents right now. This upper trend line close to around 54 cents. That blue upper trend line is that curved trend line we recently started tracking. This shorter term lower high move for Cardano, and it's really from a macro perspective, it gives a nice picture of the momentum shift we're looking for Cardano, right? That trend line, that upper trend line, lower high resistance. So ADA right now on the short term kind of getting ready to potentially test it. Be very careful. Could be resistance here. And we're in the apex basically. So support down to the lower trend line sitting at around 50 cents. And remember, there's moving averages, important area going down to around, what was it, 48 cents or so over here on the daily chart. That blue line, that's a 50-day moving average around 48 cents. So still has some support. If there's rejection here to the downside, we need to continue tracking that. But look at these breakout targets on the shorter term charts. We have an inverse head and shoulder target around 62 cents from 53 cents where it is now. And we have an ascending triangle target around 72 cents, which is that larger ascending triangle structure that we've been tracking. So ADA charts on the short term getting exciting. There are no guarantees, everybody. Obviously, I've been probably leaning towards a shorter term breakout more. I've been probably talking a little bit more bullish on the short term lately. But that's just because this setup is here. And it's also because the CPI data coming out this week, in anticipation of that being potentially, decent and markets feeling comfortable to rally, and also the news being priced in anyway, I could see a potential breakout. And I want to really track the confirmation of that. And that's why I've been probably leaning a little bit more short-term bullish. But I'm telling you, I think a perfect picture of these markets right now, and really that sums up everything, is we could have the rally, but be very careful what happens after that rally. It's not necessarily the entry of the bull market. And it also sums up, we could go up, we could go down. And at the end of the day, that is it, everybody. This isn't financial advice. I'm just watching the charts with you. I'm putting it together as I go and as I track it. And I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, because these are the things I'm anticipating. These are the things that make it easy. This is the data that makes it easy for me to kind of gauge and identify the moves that I want to make in these markets. So I think the visualization tool that we have here and these speculative moves is extremely valuable to do all of that. So let's continue tracking what's going on. Going to be interesting to see how this whole Ethereum thing over the next couple of months or month or so plays into Cardano and the Cardano narrative, because don't forget it, Cardano staking already here and working amazingly. And if you are an ADA holder, please stake with a CCV pool. I appreciate all of your support, all of you delegators out there. It's incredibly fun taking part in the consensus protocol that is Cardano. And so let's watch these charts calmly as we start this new week, because that's the other thing, new weekly candle getting ready to happen. All we can do is track, but let's see. I think the weekly candle will close green. Don't want to say it yet. There's still, a few more hours here, 2 to 3 hours. And then this week, let's see if we can close above 56 cents, the 200-week moving average. So those are my thoughts, everybody. Have a great start to your week. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.